Good morning. Welcome to Seed Faith Homestead. This is Russell. Linda's inside on a conference call as she normally is, especially on Thursdays. They have quite a few conference calls. So I thought it'd be a good time to slide out here and do some filming. Things are going well. We're continuing to try to knock out project after project. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And again, I apologize that she's not out here with me, but she has to work during the day. My job, I'm a pastor and what they call a media pastor at this church. And so I do a lot of their social media posts and all. So I can do a lot of my stuff here at the house from the computer. And then Wednesdays is my day to really be at the church and ministering there. So anyway, we both work, but hers is more tied down to a computer. So, but anyway, it's talking about projects, knocking out projects. The only way that you can move forward is to set goals for yourself. And I used to hate that word, goals, because that meant there's something I got to accomplish. There's something I've placed a task in front of me that if it was important enough to call it a goal, then it's something important enough to put down on paper and to move forward. If it's not important enough to put down on paper, then it's really not a goal of yours. It's just a thought of yours. And so same thing with the goal of putting a date and time to it. Without a date and a time, it's just an idea. But when you put a date to it, it seems to make things happen. So homesteading is something that you really need to think about. It's a lifestyle of trying to be, we'll simplify it and just say a simpler type of life for us. Get away so much from depending on the grocery store, depending on the government, depending on really the only thing we depend on is God, Jesus Christ. That's where our faith's at. That's what we depend on. God's given us natural abilities to be able to take care of ourselves. That does not mean we exclude people. No, you especially can't do that if you're a child of God. You need to share and try to lift up one another. But at the same time, you need to be able to take care of yourself. And so that's what we're trying to teach Leah, especially with her having autism, trying to teach her how to be self-sufficient. And she knows how to pray. She knows how to lean on God. She sometimes has to remind me, but at the same time, the homesteading lifestyle is something that's very appealing to us. So I want to talk about setting the goals, what it takes to do that. I was doing some reading and research this morning, and I ran across an article, and I will share the link to the article down in the bottom here. But it's something that got me thinking. I have not really set homesteading goals. Me and Linda work off a prayer list, things that we're praying for, that we lay hands on at night and we pray together. We don't do it every night, but it's sitting by the bed, and most nights we'll pray over this. And we've seen God answer so many of our prayers, and that's why we're on this property that we're on, is because of it being on a sheet of paper and me and her coming together in agreement and praying. And there's been many things that we've done that over the last 5 to 10 years. But I want to take it a step further. We're always going to leave God in the equation, but at the same time, we want to have tangible goals that we're on the same page for and that we're pushing together to try to achieve. So in this article I found, it's titled 11 Feasible First Year Homesteading Goals. Boy, I struggle with that one. 11 Feasible First Year Homesteading Goals. And I wrote them down, and I encourage you, if you do not have a small notebook and a pen with you most of the time, get you one. Write your ideas down. And I know we're in the 21st century and we've got memos on our phone. Use that too. Use whatever you have in front of you. I like to write mine down. I just like to see it. And it seems like if I take time to write it, that it means something. And I may run across it 2 months from now, and it will revitalize that thought that I had. And so The first goal that they had on here is learn to cook from scratch. Well, that is a lost art in today's society. Man, there's recipes everywhere. You just read the side of the box and throw it in the microwave and cook it. And that's not the way my mom did it. That's not the way my grandmother did it. And I'm not saying we only do what my mom and grandmother did. That's not true. But man, the food was so good growing up. I can just remember Mom, it took more time, but I can remember her starting to cook and just the whole house would smell so good. And we had one of those stove vents that vented outside out the top of the roof instead of the ones they got now that recycle it through charcoal or whatever they got in there. But I could remember, like in the morning, we'd be out there playing. I could tell when she started cooking breakfast. I could smell the bacon coming into the neighborhood from out there. But anyway, learn to cook from scratch. How many of y'all do that? Man, if you're going to be self-sufficient, you need to learn to cook from scratch. And again, in this article, they had some SMART goals wrote down. And the SMART goal was to try to cook 2 meals from scratch every week for a whole year. That takes planning. And that's the thing with goals. You need to plan out. It helps you think through the grocery list and what you need, what ingredients you're going to need to cook from scratch, instead of cooking from prepackaged stuff, because that's all processed, most of it. And as I have found out, the more processed food I eat, the more trouble I have with autoimmune disease, with psoriatic arthritis. And so the more I can get away from this processed, I'm going to say it, crap that they put in our food, because that's what it is, crap that they've put in there to longer the shelf, to extend the shelf life on it. All it's doing is harming you. And so that's a goal that I really want to start to achieve here in our household. Linda's a great cook, but I would have to say the majority of our meals are processed, quickly to cook meals that you just throw and go. And so that's number one. Number two is learn to can food. Now, this will definitely be a goal of ours. Me and Linda's canned a little bit, but we've never tried to can and put up stuff. I'm not a big vegetable eater at all. I'm starting to learn, and with this dehydrator, it's really helping me to eat things that I would not regularly eat. Her squash chips that she made a couple of videos back. I hate squash. Never have liked squash. My family's brothers and sisters, they all like squash casseroles and stuff. I just have never liked, but I love the squash chips that she made. So I have ate a whole squash by myself, just because instead of getting a snack in the evening, grab the squash chips. And so I know that that's not canning, but when you develop a taste for it, why not can the the vegetables that you've got, and eat them during the winter time? I think it's a great idea, and that's something we are definitely going to encourage each other and set that as a goal. On their SMART goal, they got to can 36 jars of tomatoes. Or I wrote down for myself, can 36 jars of food by the end of September, which that's coming up pretty quick. We're at the end of August now. So number 3, grow something. I know most of you are already growing things, but if you're not and you don't think you have the room to grow something, grow some herbs in the kitchen. That is so easy to do. Doesn't take a whole lot of space. You can do it in a windowsill. Grow something. It's very fulfilling to most people to watch it come from that seed. When it first breaks the ground, it's exciting, and then to watch it grow from there, wow! Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. It's kind of like you hear people talking about runners' highs. They get high from running. I can't understand that, how you can do that, but I can compare it to like when the seed breaks through the ground. It's exciting for me to see that. Number 4, make your own household products. I know for us, we've done this. Linda got wax now for making candles, and we've made quite a few candles. It's fun. It's something that you can do as well to sell. It's not hard once there's enough information on the internet with the wax and all that, and how much fragrance to put in it. all the ingredients and directions, recipe I should say, are out there. It's not like you got to reinvent a candle. All the information you need is just a process that you have to go through. And we burn our own candles all the time. And I like that. I like knowing that's something that Linda made and that we're using. Number 5, I'm on number 5. This is like number 4. It says make your own beauty and hygiene products. I know there's many people out there that make soaps. You can make lip balms. You can make body wash. There's all kind of things. And again, the internet and YouTube is such a great place to get ideas of what you can make instead of buying it at the store, and you know exactly what's in it. Again, there's additives added to this stuff. There's stuff that's got a number behind it. You ain't got a clue what it is that you're putting into your say it's deodorant that's going into your system. So that's something we can do when you're setting your goals. Number 6 is learn to ferment. Now, something like sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. I love pickles. I think this is something we need to do more of, because it is something that I enjoy, something to eat, and it is another way of extending the life of your fruits and vegetables that you grow. So that is definitely something we're going to look into. Number 7, eat local pastured raised meat. And some of you grow your own meat, which I think is incredible. That's where we're trying to head to. That's going to be a goal of ours. We are about to head into sheep, most likely. We talked about goats as well, but as I shared the other day, looking at our property, I think we would be better set for sheep. And but that we do buy local pasture raised cows, beef, and it is so good. It is so good. And some people say, "Oh, that's expensive." No, not when you figure out the weight of it and divide it by how much you paid for it. It's not bad at all, and the meat is so good, and you know exactly where it came from, and you're helping farmers around here if you're not able to grow your own. Are processing your own chickens, man, so much better than buying these steroid chickens that have been pumped up with hormones and steroids in the grocery store. Another goal is to learn to cook with every part of the animal. This would be a tough one for us, because there's parts of the animal that I just don't think I could eat. But it's mainly because we don't know how to fix it, what to do with it. That would be one I would have to stretch for. But at the same time, with this goal, it's just like with chicken. If you're going to buy, say you want some chicken breast. I'm more of a dark meat person when it comes to chicken, but buy the whole bird and cut it up yourself, carve it yourself. That is a goal that I want us to start doing. And next spring we're definitely going to get build us a chicken tractor and raise our own meat birds. But learn how to carve that bird up into the pieces that you need, instead of buying it already prepackaged. Number 9, make your own herbal remedies. I've researched that some. Again, that's something that we may look into. I know right now Linda has dealt a couple of weeks ago with a bad cough. She thought it was bad enough that she thought it could even be COVID, and she went and got tested for that, and it was negative. But at the same time, she's taken a lot of cough drops and medication for that, and then it went to Leah, and then it went to her mom, who's still dealing with it. And of course, she's 89 years old, so things hit her really hard. But it would be nice to have your own herbal remedies that you've created, and see if those will work. So that's another goal you can have. Number 10, learn to sew, knit, crochet, or quilt. Again, I actually know how to sew with a sewing machine. When COVID first came out and they were making you wear a mask, I made my own mask. I made the whole household some. People may make fun of a man knowing how to sew, but I can do simple sewing. I'm not going to do the machine will do crazy stitches, but it's a good thing to know how to do. Linda's big at crocheting. She she loves to do that, and has made so many throws and prayer cloths and all kind of stuff that she's giving away. And I told her, I said, honey, you could sell some of this, but that's what she likes to do in the evening time while she's watching YouTube channels. Is she will have her crocheting in her lap and doing that. And so that is something that, you know, if you do not know how to do that, it would be a great goal to set. And number 11, the last one here, is to read and learn and watch and educate yourself any way you can. Make it a goal that you want to learn something new that you do not already know. That'll help you in homesteading. And be able to pass that down to somebody else. But those are 11 things that I read that I thought were very interesting today. Got me to thinking. And any good teacher, that's their goal, is to make you think afterwards and walk away asking questions to yourself and finding out for yourself. So I hope it has sparked thought in you. You may already have goals for this year. It's never too late to set your goals. And when you set them, like I said earlier, put a date to it. Like if you're going to learn how to ferment, put you a date of when you want to have that done by, and remind yourself by the end of September, I want to have some things fermented. That's a good goal to have, and it's not hard to do. It just they're pecking on the barn here. It's not hard to do at all, and that's how we had to do with chickens. We set a goal. That's how we've done. I've got less than a week for the goal we set for having either goats or sheep, and so we're pressing each evening trying to find the perfect fit for us. So again, we love y'all very much. I wish Linda could have been out here with you and gave you her perspective. We'll film something together for Saturday, but the evening times are kind of crazy when she gets off with her work, and that's starting to cool down. Like right now, I need to cut the grass again, and that's probably what I'll do this evening if it don't rain. And then if not today, tomorrow, and Saturday. But it ain't going to grow much longer. We got a couple more months, and then we'll be in the dormant period. But I love you guys very much, and I pray y'all have a great week. If you have not already liked and subscribed and shared, I ask you to do that. Again, it doesn't cost you nothing, but it sure does help us out in growing this channel. And our desire is to share that seed of faith to everyone that we can. And we're going to do it through homesteading, but our main purpose is to share that seed of faith. So that's what we do. But you have a great day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all again on Saturday. God bless you, and see you next time.